Chapter 8. Out of Control. Sergeant Spears looked down at her watch, then to the folders she had placed neatly atop a large table in the conferences room. She had always found something soothing about organization and symmetry. One thing that bothered her most was running late, even in some instances arriving an hour early for an event of great importance.
Damn it, I can't
Glancing
leave
at
the
her
room.
watch once again, it read 4:56. She found it frustrating that none of her team seemed to feel the same as she did about punctuality. She knew that couldn't be the case since they were all military, but something really important must be keeping them. Damn it, I can't leave the room to find out. The pounding at the door caught her off guard.
Why the hell are they knocking? Enter!
She muttered quietly, enough
Poop.
not to be heard by whichever teammate was on the other side of the door.
What is going on? Enter!
This time, when nobody entered, she felt a great sense of urgency. Her
Damn
first
it.
thought was of her sidearm.
My sidearm is still in my luggage back in the room.
Disgusted at the thought, she quickly looked around for something to use as a weapon. It didn't take long since other than a large table, copier, and steel-framed chairs surrounding it were items she had brought, which only added up to papers and a laptop. Picking up the laptop, Spears made her way around the table to the door. As she neared, thoughts of this being a test occurred to her.
Well, I'm not leaving the room if that's what you're trying to get me to do.
Just as her left hand gripped the door handle, she heard what sounded like many doors opening at once. Spotting 4 doors on the left side of the hall open up with near-perfect synchronization, set off alarms in Otto's mind that caused his instincts and training to take over. Already on the left side of the hall, he ran diagonally to the right side toward a room door still closed. Taking short, fast steps, Otto built up speed in just a short distance. With some quick calculations and previous experience, Otto knew he couldn't generate enough force to break through that door, but its resist frame would provide a great launching point for one on the other side of the narrow hall. Aiding in smooth transfer of momentum, Otto leapt up slightly before planting his right foot into the door frame. With his foot making good contact and energy from the short run transferred, Otto kicked off toward the door directly across the hall with not a millisecond to spare as all 4 Alpha Squad members fired. Drex couldn't believe what he was watching on his laptop. Nothing in his training had ever prepared him for this. Even with his body and mind wanting to jump into action, he had no clue what to do. His own team was firing on a person that was supposed to join them.
Guess they really didn't want a new member.
He grumbled, right before Otto came crashing through his door, stopping just inside the room. In a flash, Drex rose to his feet with his pistol pointing at Otto, while keeping one eye on the hallway security camera. Cutting it a little close, aren't you? The meeting starts at 5. Placing a hand over his stomach where bullets singed 4 red lines, Otto looked at Drex, perplexed. They will be coming, Otto said, pushing himself along the floor deeper into Drex's room and ignoring the pistol Drex had pointed at him. Shit, Spears, Drex exclaimed, seeing Spears open the conference room door at the far end of the hall. Without hesitation, Drex ran for the door Otto had crashed through. He wasn't sure what needed to be done just 8 seconds ago, but seeing the 4 turning their pistols toward another team member had made everything clear. Drex heard all 4 pistols fire at Spears as he stepped just outside his room. Still not wanting to kill another team member, Drex fired at Higgins, striking him in the lower leg. To Drex's surprise, the well-built man didn't so much as flinch, even as blood ran from the hole. Unsure whether to fire again, one thing he did know was that the shot managed to get the attention of all 4. He was almost hypnotized by the synchronized precision in which they moved, at the same time creeped out as all 4 heads turned slowly toward him, with eyes almost void of any color, except white and black.
I'm guessing it isn't gonna do me any good to order you to stand down, right?
Drex asked, as the four together turned their bodies in his direction.
You son of a bitch!
You son of a bitch!
You son of a
Drex heard at
bitch!
the other end of the hall, right before seeing Spears smash a laptop into the nearest team member's head, followed by a knee to his forehead while falling. Spears' actions brought attention from the remaining three. Before the nearest one could fully turn, her laptop was already picking up speed, before bearing its edge deep within their throat. Spears almost froze at the sight of the crushed throat that did little more than cause one of his eyes to slightly twitch. She quickly leapt into the air, bringing her right leg up and kicking out with the toe of her boot to this Alpha Squad member's temple. With eyes rolled back into his skull, he fell to the floor with no further movements.
Glad I put her on the team.
Drex thought as he watched his second team member fall. Taking his lead from Spears and discovering that they could be knocked out, Drex moved toward Higgins as he and the remaining team member raised their pistols toward Spears. Drex began moving in Higgins' direction, only to be surprised when both fired, placing 2 rounds into heads of the men Spears had knocked out. "No!" Drex screamed, striking Higgins just below his right ear and causing him to tumble to the floor. Drex watched the large man fall. Then a bullet passed through Higgins' head, fired by the remaining team member. Quickly, she placed the pistol to her forehead and without hesitation squeezed the trigger, sending a bullet through her own head and spraying brain matter all over a wall. "What the hell is going on?" Spears screamed, unable to process the gruesome sight that lay all around her, as blood still pumped out over gray matter on the floor.
No,
Knowing
this
that if
can't be
Spears
real!
wasn't redirected,
Oh God,
she would go into shock.
What happened
Drex
here?
rushed over and grabbed her by both upper portions of her arms, making him the main thing she could see.
Look at me! Look at me! I am giving you a direct order!
Go. Destroy everything in the room. Leave nothing. And be ready to leave in 5 minutes.
Drex didn't let go till he was sure she was focused, and then almost turned her back toward the room himself before letting go.
You good?
"Otto, you still alive in there?" Drex called out as he
Otto,
began picking up weapons
You still
and
alive in there?
identifications from his deceased team. "Ja, mein Herr," Otto said, stepping out into the hall with the front of his white shirt covered in blood. Seeing the blood, Drex then asked, "You going to stay that way?"
It's only a flesh
"Yeah,
wound.
it is only a
We need to
flesh
move.
wound. 4 to be exact. 1 deeper than the next. I will live. We need to move." Knowing they couldn't move for a few minutes, Drex ran past Otto to the stairway door and began using the butt of a pistol to hammer coins all around
What are
the
you
door
doing?
seam.
Why are you hammering coins into the door?
Otto asked, unable to figure out just what Drex was hoping to accomplish. Finishing with the last bit of change he had in his pocket.
What, you never played pranks? Pranks on your parents growing up by wedging the door closed with pennies?
9. As a young man, I studied and read many books.
Otto proudly informed Drex.
Your loss. Go wrap your wound quickly. We'll be moving out in 3 minutes. Oh, and grab a fresh shirt from my bag. We'll be traveling light.
Drex could hear Spears shredding papers in the conference room, and then he heard very loud banging noises.
What you doing there, Spears?
Sorry, sir. Some of these machines store what they copy. Just wanted to be sure this one doesn't, Ed.
We're traveling light, 1 small bag. My room and 2 mics, Roger?
Roger.
As she quickly walked around the long table, heading to her room.
Open this door! What was that?
The 3 of them
Someone's
could hear
here.
banging
Window,
at the stairway
now.
door
Go.
as Drex opened a window to his room. Taking one last look to the security camera he had placed, Drex could see police rushing into the building
Police
through its
rushing the
front door.
entrance. Rear camera still clear. We move now. Okay, follow me.
Drex ordered, closing his laptop and throwing it into his backpack before swiftly climbing through the window, carefully stepping on clay shingles just outside his room window. Every foot and hand placement was done with great care, not out of fear of damaging the roof, but from fear of having very old clay shingles break, sending them falling down to the street below. It only took a minute to climb over the roof to the rear, where Drex quickly spotted what he was looking for: the gutter drain. When they had first arrived, he had noticed they were made of cast iron pipe. If the years had not loosened the fasteners from the wall, it would be easy to climb down to ground level. Drex turned, letting his feet move over the edge. He next slid his body over and allowed his feet to grab hold of the pipe. Then, with one smooth motion, he slid down below the gutter and made his way down the cast iron pipe. Once down, Drex scanned the area while keeping a close eye on the rear exit. He knew it was just a matter of
Do you
time
have a
before
car?
the police would break through the door
Yeah, it's parked
and
nearby.
begin a broader search.
Let's go,
As
quickly.
the other man made contact with the ground seconds after him. Drex knew that there was no way to make it out of the hotel parking lot in their own vehicle without being stopped by police. But one thing he was sure of was that a German commando special forces didn't use the parking lot.
2 streets over.
Otto said while pointing in a direction away from the hotel. Drex gestured with a slight twist of his head for Otto to take the lead. Otto walked just slightly in front of them as they walked down alleys, like old friends, out for a stroll. They could hear emergency vehicles' sirens coming from all directions converging on the hotel. A walk that only took Otto 10 minutes earlier was now taking twice that in order to avoid authorities and surveillance cameras placed along city streets. Being a local to the area, Otto placed himself behind the steering wheel. Spears got in the back seat, and Drex took the front passenger seat. Once everyone was in, Otto wasted little time getting the car moving down the street.
What the hell
As
was
they drove
that?
away from the hotel, he changed streets often,
We lost pretty
checking
close
to be
the
sure
whole
they were
damn
not being
team.
followed.
They just shot each other. What the hell was that? We lost pretty close to the whole damn team.
Spears said
They just
loudly,
shot each other.
unable
But
to maintain
I can't
her
believe
professional
this is
composure
happening.
any longer now that they were heading out of the city. Drex, almost as desperate for answers, looked to Otto, but the other man remained silent and focused on the road ahead.
Well, how about it there, Bismarck? Got any info for us?
Drex asked, in a
What, got
tone
any
that
info for
suggested
us?
he better like what he heard. Glancing over to Drex, Otto knew just what the tone and remark was meant to convey. He instinctively matched the subtle challenge for dominance.
I am of no relation to the great Otto von Bismarck. Furthermore, I believe you know what took place. You just have not come to grip with the reality of it because it makes you feel vulnerable. You feel that you can be turned into merely a puppet at any moment. I take it you know what happened. You know what happened before you arrived. Yes, I do. Stop me if I am wrong, but from the synchronicity in which the 4 in the hallway moved, and the 4 evenly spaced bullet marks on my stomach, it appears the real men in black arrived before my arrival. What's everyone?
And the Men in Black? Like the movie?
Oh no, my dear, these are nothing like the movies. In fact, the movie was created to cover up for their existence. Little is known about them other than they appear from seemingly nowhere and vanish just as fast, usually right before an event such as what you witnessed today. Most of the time, nobody ever remembers seeing them.
Is that why I don't remember seeing them?
No, they knocked on your door, but when you didn't answer, they disappeared. That's when Otto here entered the hall. So, they were after you? It seems so. Who knew you were meeting us there? That is irrelevant, since neither of us know how many people were truly involved with putting this mission together. Were. Well then, why did they just start shooting each other? Herr Drex, There was nothing you could do. Once they are under control of the men in black, they are either killed, commit suicide, or go crazy. Ever wonder why there are so many murders around the world that end with the person killing themselves before authorities even arrive? Why don't they just come for you directly? Put them on.
Drex took the glasses and inspected them closely, but couldn't spot anything special about them.
Put them on.
Drex did, but still didn't see or feel anything happening. The lenses only seemed to be slightly colored.
Are they supposed to do something? The only difference I can tell is that everything has a light green tint to it.
That is it. The creatures transmit information by light waves, and my studies have shown that only 2 colors of lenses alter their abilities. Green, like those in these sunglasses you are now wearing, cancels it out. The other is red, but it is of no help. It simply causes one to go crazy, then typically commit suicide.
Otto spoke proudly of his discovery. Removing the glasses, Drex once again looked them over as a question occurred to him.
How do you know?
If you're enjoying this so far, hit like and subscribe now, because the shit is about to get real. The truth is finally coming out. The real history of humanity is about to be revealed.